Peyton Place. Starring Dorothy Malone as Constance Mackenzie, Ed Nelson as Michael Rossi, Mia Farrow as Allison Mackenzie, Ryan O'Neill as Rodney Harrington, Barbara Parkins as Betty Anderson, Tim O'Connor as Elliot Carson, Christopher Conley as Norman Harrington.
This morning, Gus Chernak buried his son, virtually in the shadow of the Peyton Mill, an institution that has dominated Gus's life and the life of his family. As the day has passed, the man's grief for his son has turned to fury.
Hello, Gus.
Mrs. Anderson, I want to talk to you.
Of course. Would you like a cup of coffee?
It'll just take a minute. I want you to do something for me.
Gus, I'll do anything I can.
Pick up the phone.
Well?
Dial 214.
Payroll.
Sure, it's payroll. I want you to talk to them. Tell them to give me an advance.
Well, Gus, I'll have to know a little bit more about it before I can do that.
I need the money. That's what it's about.
I know, Gus, but...
Well, I'm not going to take it and go out on a drunk. No, I'm through with all that.
Well, that's really none of my business.
Mrs. Anderson, just call them downstairs. Tell them to give me the advance.
Ruth, Julie, I'm authorizing an advance for Gus Chernak. Yes, 2 weeks. Fine, thank you. It'll be waiting for you when you get down there.
Thank you. That should still say Harrington. Then I wouldn't have to be begging. He'd pay for this, I'd make him. He owes it. We started out together. He got to the top. He didn't want to be reminded of where he came from. So he kept pushing me down.
Mr. Harrington was good to you, Gus.
He pushed me down, off the loom, out of the mill. He took my job away.
Your drinking took your job away, Gus. He could have fired you, but he kept you on. No, I'm sorry. Mr. Harrington was your friend.
He finished me, and his son finished my son. And now he don't have the courage to come back and stand by his boy in jail. Leslie Harrington is nobody's friend.
He came back this morning, Gus. He was at the arraignment.
Mr. Shuster?
Oh, hello, Gus. What can I do for you?
Mrs. Anderson helped me.
Come in, Julie. What did Gus have on his mind?
Oh, that can wait, Mr. Shuster.
Mr. Peyton wants me to mail the report to him immediately.
Would you like to dictate a covering letter?
No. That report needs to be explained and it needs to be sold, and I have to be there to answer any questions about it, or to clarify it, or to defend it if necessary. Why did he have to be ill that day? Why did he pick that one day when I went to Boston just to see him? If I'd had a chance to talk to him, everything would be settled by now. Either I would be running this place my way, or I'd be packing my bags to go back to New York. As it is now, his grandson is arraigned on a murder charge, and the mill business is mixed up with 3 generations of Peyton emotion.
You know, there's one thing Mr. Harrington used to say about Martin Peyton. The old man has a remarkable instinct for what's pertinent and what isn't.
Yes, but he is human. He could hold me responsible for Rodney's arraignment. After all, I did tell the police what my daughter saw.
You had no choice. He also knows that.
Does he? Julie, when you worked for Leslie Harrington, was he under the gun like this?
Mr. Harrington's was a rather unusual situation. He was married to Martin Peyton's daughter. He was under the gun most of the time.
Well, we're not going to send in that report. The ball is now officially thrown back to Martin Peyton. Uh-oh, he heard me.
Mr. Shuster's office.
It's good to hear your voice again. How are you?
All right.
What's wrong? Are you in his office?
Yes, may I call you back?
Just let me ask if I can come over tonight after work. I want to see you and talk to you. Just say yes or no.
Leslie. Yes, goodbye. I'm sorry about the interruption. It's a personal call.
Leslie Harrington?
Yes.
All right. I think that'll be all for now, Julie.
Dad, come on in. Welcome to the Harrington Haven on the Hill.
So this is why you boys have been living here. I tried to visualize it.
Well, on a clear day, you see nothing. We painted the place when we first moved in, but you can't whitewash everything. I'm not much of a cleanup man. Rod does most of the work around here.
How did he feel about your non-participation?
Sore. I just get in the way and tell him what a good job he's doing.
Used to be Paul Hanley's apartment, right?
Yeah. Sit down. Have you found a place to stay? You can stay here if you don't mind the mess.
I've already taken a room at the inn.
Oh, well, you'll be very comfortable there.
I'm sure I will.
Did you talk to Rod?
Yes.
How is he?
He's taking it well.
I wouldn't.
Something will be done. Soon, I promise. Norman, when I left, we were both so upset we didn't talk. I mean, really talk.
There wasn't much to say.
There were many things to say if we could have said them. But we'd gotten out of the habit, lost touch. Well, that's not quite true. We'd never really been in touch. I've had a lot of time to try to figure out why. I suppose I know now. Rodney never asked so much of me. You were more like your mother. You needed more. I failed you both.
Dad, you don't have to.
I'm much better at doing than expressing myself. Please let me try. When I heard you tried to reach me and when you spoke to me in the courtroom, it meant a great deal to me. I felt it was a beginning. We could start over. You see, all those months, I thought about you. And I have to know whether you still think I lied about your mother.
I went to the cemetery last week by myself. And in one of the religions, I forget which one, they have a tradition where if you visit a grave, you place a rock or a stick or something on the ground nearby. That lets the spirit know that someone stopped by. I found a nice shiny stone. That's the trouble with everyone. They can't stop thinking about the past. I don't know what to believe. I'm afraid afraid to believe you, and I'm afraid not to.
I'm sorry, Norman, for asking. I won't ask you again. There's only one thing that matters now. Rod's in trouble. We're going to get him out of it.
How about some chow? I forgot to have lunch. So you can have a spaghetti a la Harrington, or canned tuna, or beef stew, or any of the other delicacies.
I think I'll let it pass. My stomach's still on European time.
Coward.
Hello, Ada.
Stephen?
How have you been?
I don't need
Any what?
whatever you're selling.
Not selling anything, Ada?
And what are you drinking?
I'm drinking ice. I'm sure you're aware that Theodore Dahl is Rodney's lawyer and that I work with him. I'm here for some questions. We're just as interested as Mr. Fowler in trying to establish the facts that led up to Joe Chernock's death.
I don't owe anybody anything.
Just some answers. The same ones Mr. Fowler will want. You see, it boils down to motive. It always does. And I'd appreciate your telling me anything you know. I'd like the names of the people who came in here the afternoon and evening of Joe Chernock's death.
And I'd like a month's vacation from this town. Starting right now.
I think perhaps I better talk to Rita.
Rita's washing her hair. Give my regards to your mother.
When this case comes to trial, we'll subpoena you and Rita. And then you'll have to talk in public.
Leave us alone.
I mean it, Ada.
Look, Joe Chernock didn't die here. I didn't hear anything or see anything all that day. Then I heard the ambulance siren coming up the wharf. Now, what else do you want from me?
Did you see Joe Chernock the day he died?
No.
Did anyone come in here looking for Chernock?
No.
Who was here that night?
How can I? Well, I think Bill Trumbull was here, and Harry Phillips and his wife, Mary, and Stella Chernock.
Stella was here the night her brother was found dead?
That's right. She was sitting right here having a drink and playing the jukebox.
Well, was she with someone?
No.
Okay. Is Rita here?
I told you she's washing her hair.
Did she see Joe Chernock the day he died?
Why would she? She dropped him a long time ago.
Well, did Rita ever tell you anything about Joe, the kind of guy he was?
I knew the kind of guy he was.
Ada, are you asking me to believe Rita never talked to you about Joe?
Matter of fact, Stella's the one I've heard talk about Joe. That night, I brought her back in here after she heard that Joe was dead. She had a drink, and then she started to talk about him. She said he was a rotten kid, a spoiler, a liar, and that he was always trying to punish her. She said I should be glad that Rita broke up with him. I better go answer.
Hello? This is Rita.
Do you suppose Rita's finished washing her hair now?
Mother's here. Do you want to talk to her?
I told you.
I'll call her.
She doesn't know any more than I do.
I'll talk to her.
Hey, Mom, the phone. Hi, Mr. Court.
I'd like to talk to you, Rita.
She'll be late for work if she doesn't get out of here. She has to work late tonight.
Yeah, that's right. I have to go.
Okay. We'll talk. When you're not in a hurry.
Mom, the phone.
They'll wait. Honey, we can't let this push us down into the mud. Look, if you get yourself involved in this, it'll never wash off, believe me.
But, Mother...
Stephen just told me that they can subpoena both of us if they want to. Drag us into court. And they'll do it, too, unless we're just not around. We're going to go away. I'm going to close up this place. We're going to take a vacation for a couple of months. I can afford it. That's just what we're going to do, honey. And then they can't hurt us. Hello? Hello?